What's going on with everyone? I hope everything is okay with you. Today's video is about something that's very important, but also very poorly understood: how emotionally immature hidden narcissist women are. Were you ever in a relationship with someone whose behavior seemed confusing, unreliable, or just plain hurtful? That person may have been a covert narcissist. But here's the thing: hidden narcissists are very good at hiding who they really are. They don't act in the loud, attention-getting ways that we usually connect with narcissism. Instead, they use undercover methods that are very harmful. Just wait until the end, because we're going to talk about 5 key ways you can tell if a woman is a hidden narcissist. You really shouldn't miss this, trust me. As a warm-up, please like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone you think might find these secret traits interesting. Alright, let's begin. You might be thinking, how can I tell if someone is emotionally immature when they seem so charming and well put together? It's hard, but not impossible. Covert narcissism is all about noticing patterns of behavior that go beyond how people act when they are with other people. Let's break this down. 1. Why there needs to be constant validation. The fact that she is always looking for approval from other people is one of the clearest signs that she may be a hidden narcissist woman. Everyone likes to hear compliments or nice things said about them once in a while, but a hidden narcissist takes this need to be validated to a whole new level. For her, praise, thanks, and reassurance are not just nice things that happen from time to time. They are necessary for her mental survival. Her sense of self-worth depends on what other people say and do about her, and it can't feel safe without regular validation from outside sources. People who are close to her can get tired of this need for approval, because it seems like no matter how much praise or encouragement you give her, it's never enough to make her happy. Just telling them "I love you" or "you did a great job" won't do. She needs constant support, and the praises or affirmations need to come often, if not all the time, for her to feel even slightly stable. Even for a short time, she might start to show signs of worry, anxiety, or emotional damage. She may have big changes in how she feels, and she may feel deeply insecure or unloved, which can make her act out or pull away. This is a clear sign of mental immaturity, because it shows she can't control her own sense of self-worth. A healthy person can get a sense of worth from their own sense of value and success. But for a covert narcissist, their self-esteem depends on what other people think. If people around her don't praise her enough, she might feel lost, unimportant, or even desperate for attention, which could make her feel bad. She seems to rely on other people to show her how valuable she is instead of developing a strong sense of her own worth. Over time, the narcissist's need for constant approval can make the environment toxic, and she may depend on other people more and more for her mental stability. It can be hard on her relationships, because the people closest to her may feel like they have to walk on eggshells all the time to satisfy her need for approval. This trend doesn't change very often, which is a problem. The covert narcissist will continue to need approval from others, because they can't be happy or at peace without it. One thing that makes a covert narcissist stand out is their constant need for praise, and the emotional turmoil that happens when they don't get it. 2. Feeling like a victim. The fact that she always acts like a victim is another clear sign that you may be dealing with a hidden narcissist woman, because she will often act like she has been insulted or mistreated, even when it's clear that she is the one who started or added to the conflict. This is one of the most obvious signs that she is narcissistic. No matter what, she will always find a way to put the blame on someone else and make herself look like she did nothing wrong. Should something go wrong, she won't accept blame or admit what she did in any way. Instead, she will craft a narrative where she is the victim of circumstances or the behaviors of those around her, even if the truth is the exact opposite. Being emotionally immature and not being able to take responsibility for her actions are at the root of her habit of always seeing herself as a victim. She doesn't have the self-awareness or ability to look at herself critically enough to face her mistakes or flaws. When she thinks about her flaws, she twists and turns the truth around, often blaming others for her mistakes. By doing so, she avoids the uncomfortable task of owning up to her behavior and avoids having to acknowledge the impact of her actions on others. Instead, she chooses to manipulate the situation emotionally, often guilt-tripping those around her into feeling responsible for her distress or frustrations. This kind of behavior shows a major lack of emotional growth and responsibility. Taking responsibility for one's actions and learning from mistakes are normal parts of growing up for a healthy, emotionally grown person. However, for the covert narcissist, growth in this area is stunted. Instead of growing into a fully self-aware adult who can recognize the consequences of their actions, they continue to blame others and avoid any form of personal responsibility. She is still having trouble with emotional maturity because she doesn't want to take responsibility for her deeds. The victim mentality also serves a secondary purpose for her. It is a tool for emotional manipulation. By positioning herself as the victim, she gains sympathy, attention, and control over others, often diverting focus away from her own misdeeds. It's possible that she plays on other people's feelings, using guilt, pity, or even anger to get them to agree with her or excuse her actions. This makes an unsafe situation where people may feel like they have to say sorry, change how they act, or go out of their way to make things right in order to please her and avoid more trouble. From a long-term point of view, her constant victim mentality keeps her emotionally stuck. She is stuck in a cycle of denial, shifting blame, and emotional manipulation. Instead of learning to deal with hard feelings and grow from hard situations, she keeps doing these things. She often can't gain real emotional insight or take responsibility for her actions because of this behavior. This means she can't build healthy, adult relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. 3. What an emotional roller coaster. Another clear sign that a woman is an emotional immature hidden narcissist is that she often has sudden changes in how she feels. She might look fine, calm, and even nice 1 minute, but after a short time, she could get upset, angry, or distant without notice. These emotional highs and lows are unpredictable, often changing rapidly, and can leave those around her feeling confused and uncertain. One moment, you might be engaged in a pleasant conversation, and the next, you're faced with her frustration or resentment. This erratic behavior creates a tense atmosphere, leaving you constantly on edge and unsure of how to navigate interactions with her. You might feel like you're walking on eggshells, unsure of what might trigger her next emotional outburst or mood shift. The root cause of these unpredictable emotional swings lies in her inability to regulate her own emotions in a healthy, stable way. Instead of processing and managing her feelings internally, she allows them to overwhelm her and control her reactions. This lack of emotional regulation means that her moods can shift quickly and without reason, making it difficult for others to anticipate how she will respond to any given situation. Her feelings take over most of the time, and she doesn't control them in a mature way. Instead, she lets them run wild, which often causes her to have dramatic, out-of-character responses to small things or talks. Emotional immaturity is shown by not being able to keep your emotions stable. A person who is emotionally mature can understand their thoughts, deal with them, and act in a thoughtful, balanced way. Covert narcissists, on the other hand, have a hard time controlling their emotions. They often don't know enough about themselves, or have the mental tools they need to deal with their feelings without needing approval or control from others. They don't calmly think about their feelings. Instead, they let their moods control what they do, which makes the environment around them unstable for everyone else. Others are constantly stressed out by their mood swings, because you never know when or what will make them lose it. This mental ups and downs is not only hard to deal with, but it also makes it very hard to keep the relationship stable. You might feel like her feelings will always cause chaos and unpredictability, no matter how hard you try to keep things calm and steady. Because her moods change all the time, it's hard to feel safe or secure around her, because you're always waiting for the next one. Both her mental and physical health can suffer because she can't always control how she feels. It can make you feel bad about yourself and make you wonder if you did something wrong or what caused her latest mood swing. If someone isn't emotionally mature enough, they may act in this way, which can also be a way to attack their feelings. She stays in charge of the situation by making sure that everyone is always guessing about how she feels. People may feel like they have to cater to her moods, say sorry for things they didn't do, or change how they act to avoid conflict when they don't know how she will respond. You can keep her in charge by controlling the emotional atmosphere. This gives her the upper hand in relationships. In the end, this emotional up and down is a sign that you are with someone who has trouble controlling their emotions and being mature. She doesn't learn how to deal with and share her feelings in a healthy, grounded way. Instead, she lets them control what she does, which makes the situation unstable and tiring for everyone. This behavior is a clear sign of emotional immaturity because it shows that the person can't handle and control their own feelings without other people's responses or influences. For controlling people through guilt, women who are covert narcissists are often very good at using guilt as a strong tool of manipulation. They use it very carefully to control and sway the people around them. One way they do this is by making you feel sorry for them, acting like they've been mistreated, or giving you hints that you owe her something for all the things she said she's done for you. Often, she will say things that make you feel bad, playing on your sympathy and desire to help. This will make you feel like you are responsible for her happiness or well-being. The guilt she puts on you isn't always obvious, but it's very strong. It slowly eats away at your peace of mind and changes your behavior to fit what she wants. It's not always easy to spot this strategy because it doesn't always come in the form of direct requests or accusations. She might instead say something that seems innocent at first, but is really an admission of guilt. She might say something like, "I guess I'm just not as important as other people," or "After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me?" These comments are meant to make you feel like you're to blame for her feelings, even though you haven't done anything wrong. Over time, these comments that make you feel guilty can lower your self-esteem, making you question your actions and motives, and think that you are somehow to blame. Causing guilt is a very strong way to control someone because it plays on your natural desire to care about other people's feelings. She will take advantage of these traits by acting like she needs help or mental support and making you feel bad if you don't give it to her. This is a common way for narcissists to make you feel like you owe them something, even if you haven't done anything to earn it. Because she made you feel bad for not doing more, it makes you question your choices and your reasons. You also feel like you owe her something. She does this to keep your emotions off balance, so that you can never fully trust your own decisions or judgments. This kind of emotional manipulation shows that the narcissist is deeply insecure, because she depends on approval from others and their feelings to feel good about herself. She doesn't take responsibility for her own actions and feelings. Instead, she puts the blame on others and makes them deal with her anger, self-pity, or failed expectations. The fact that she can't handle her own feelings and wants in a healthy way makes her manipulate others to fill the emotional void she feels inside. Because she makes you feel bad for not meeting her standards, she takes the attention off of her own flaws and puts it on you. This behavior is mentally immature because it shows that she doesn't want to take responsibility for her actions and feelings. A mature person can talk about their wants, needs, and complaints without making other people feel guilty or obligated. To escape this emotional growth, the covert narcissist controls the relationship by making the other person feel guilty. It makes you feel like you're always in the wrong, while she stays in a state of guilt. You and your partner are both mentally drained and confused because of this dynamic, which also stops any real emotional growth between you two. Also, guilt can be used to manipulate people in more than one situation. In the long run, it can turn into a loop of self-doubt and guilt that you can't break. She might put you in new situations where you feel like you always need to make up for how hurt or disappointed she thinks you are. Every time you give in to this guilt, you give her more power over you and let the bad relationship continue. She does this over time to get you to react to her emotional cues in the way she wants, which makes it even harder to escape her control. She can't handle relationships in an adult healthy way, which is shown by how she treats others. She doesn't deal with her mental flaws, so she uses them to control other people. The narcissist avoids taking responsibility for her actions and instead uses others to carry the emotional weight of her problems. This shows that she is emotionally immature and doesn't know herself well. 5. The fear of being left alone and losing control. A woman who is a hidden narcissist often has a deep-seated fear of being left alone, which often shows up as controlling behavior. This fear comes from a deep-seated sense of insecurity. She fears that if she lets go or gives the relationship too much freedom, she will be left behind, and her already weak sense of self-worth will fall apart. The fear of being left alone can be so strong that it drives her to quietly change things, so that you can't talk to your friends, family, or other people you know. She may not be directly demanding your full attention, or telling you not to spend time with other people. Instead, she may be using much more subtle methods. She might make you feel bad for not putting her first, or say that your commitment to her should be stronger than any other relationship you have. You may feel like you have to put her wants ahead of your own all the time, because of this constant emotional pressure. And whenever you're with other people, they may make passive-aggressive comments or be angry with you behind her back. She might say things like, "I guess I'm just not as important as your friends, or it's okay. Go hang out with them, I'll be fine." These comments might seem harmless or unimportant, but they're really trying to make you feel bad for wanting to keep up your other relationships, which will make you feel like you're neglecting her or failing her in some way. The message is clear. If you don't give her your full attention, she could mentally leave you, or even worse, she could make you feel like you're leaving her. This method of control isn't just about keeping you from talking to other people. It's also about making you feel dependent on her, so that she's the center of your inner world, and anything that goes against that feels like betraying her. Her way of keeping you in line is to make sure you put her first above all else, while she quietly hurts the other important relationships in your life. She might not always do this in a direct or obvious way. Instead, she'll often set you up in a way that makes you feel like you have to meet her emotional needs, even if it means stepping outside of your own boundaries or sacrificing your own happiness. Your partner is acting this way because she is afraid of being left alone, which is an irrational but deeply rooted fear that can make her do crazy things to make sure she stays the center of your life. She worries that she will lose you completely if she lets you develop too much freedom, or if she lets you form too many emotional bonds with other people. Because she doesn't think much of herself, she feels insecure and wants to control the relationship by taking away your freedom and making you focus only on her. But her manipulative behavior isn't just a way to keep you from leaving her. It also shows that you're not emotionally mature enough. She isn't emotionally mature enough because she can't trust that a relationship is healthy and stable without constant assurances or emotional manipulation. A mature partner knows how to set healthy limits and knows that trust and independence are important for a healthy partnership. A hidden narcissist, on the other hand, can't keep this kind of balance. She has a hard time understanding why giving you time and space to work on other relationships or personal hobbies is helpful. This control based on fear also shows a deeper emotional immaturity, because it means she hasn't learned how to have healthy interdependence, where both partners can be themselves while still being emotionally linked. Instead, she needs steady approval and attention to feel safe. She can't give you the freedom you need to grow, breathe, and be yourself without worrying that she'll lose control of the relationship or you. Finally, a hidden narcissist woman's fear of being left alone can make the relationship toxic and suffocating. Her need to control how you connect with other people, her need for your constant attention, and her use of guilt tripping are all ways for her to deal with her deep-seated fear of being left behind. But her failure to trust and let go of control makes her emotional instability worse, which makes it harder for her to be in healthy, balanced relationships where everyone can do well. And that's the end of our talk today. It's my sincere hope that this video helped you understand how to spot a woman who is a hidden narcissist. Keep in mind that these actions can be minor, and it may take some time to notice them. But once you do, you'll be able to avoid the mental pain that comes with these kinds of relationships. Please like, share,